Hi, it's Grow with Joe here to give you more lessons on how to grow yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, and just give you tips on just how to give yourself a better life. If you don't know who I am, that's me, Joe Bautista. I'm a financial advisor that also does development coaching because I feel that, hey, to do financial planning, you need to have a good job. In order to have a good job, uh, the good job is going to give you money. And to have that good job, you need to be a competent individual. So here to give you strategies on how to live your best life and just how to navigate the world and everything. And today's lesson is about how to accomplish goals, or how do I think about accomplishing goals. And I got this from this book called Start With Why by Simon Sinek. I didn't realize I was following this, but this is kind of just like what I've been doing. And so the first thing you have to do when you're looking at accomplishing your goals is you got to start with why. Why is this important to me? Like right now, I'm here in Medellin, Colombia, trying to learn Spanish and everything. And this is important to me because I grew up in a small town, wasn't really exposed to Spanish or other Latinos until I joined the Marines. And then when I lived in Washington, D.C., I was like, oh, there's a lot of Latinos that need help with financial planning. So if I can learn Spanish and develop my content in Spanish, then I can help out more folks. And the world needs a lot of help. And I'm like, okay, this is what I'm going to do to save my slice of the world. So this is my strong why. And having a strong why is important because it gives you that desire that says like, hey, when times get tough, I'm going to keep going. This is important to me because I'm trying to save my slice of the world with helping other people with their finances, their financial planning needs and everything. And it just helps me stay focused on other activities so I don't drift. I'm like, hey, is this really going to help me become a better financial planner if I do this? Or hey, is this going to make me a better coach? Or hey, is this going to make me a better partner, or whatever that thing is? You have to understand why you're doing something. If you're just doing it for fun, then it's like, hey, just treat it as for fun. If it's doing it for something more serious, then just treat it like that. Like if you're in this, like if you've been doing this thing for a while, let's say you've been in this basketball league for a while, and you're like, I don't really like basketball anymore. And like ask yourself, why am I still doing this? That's a very valuable thing to do, is just ask yourself, why am I doing this thing? Or why are we all doing this thing? And you also have to give people a why. You can't just tell them what, you have to tell them the why as well. I was just listening to this podcast called Business Wars, and it had Jeff Bezos. And Jeff Bezos told one of his managers, like, hey, I want you to put it in a bid to buy this company at this price. And the things weren't doing very well in 2008. And Jeff Bezos was working with a leadership coach, and he like paused for a second, caught his breath, and be like, we're doing this because financial markets are going to start freezing loans and everything to businesses. So they're going to feel a crunch and everything. And then the manager was right on board. Instead of just firing him and just listen, instead of following him mindlessly and just like being a yes man, he's like, okay, I could agree with that. Okay, I'm with you. So if you can give a strong why for why people want to go with you or go with this product, then you're going to be better off. One big thing is what caused the Apple iPod, the original iPod, to be so successful is because Steve Jobs gave a why. It's like, hey, you want this thing because you can fit 2,000 songs in your pocket. I was like, hey, that's a strong why. Like, hey, I don't have to carry around all these CDs. I don't have to carry something. I could just have this small little device that holds 2,000 songs. That is why I want it. Like, yes, it's nice to listen to music, like, but I don't understand why it's important. Like, can I only listen to one album? Can I only listen to something? So giving your why gives other people and yourself a strong reason for doing something. Just telling people what to do or how to do something is not the most effective. You got to start with why. Like I tell people, like, it's important to do financial planning because especially in your 20s, because $1 saved in your 20s is like saving $21 in your 50s. And when you're 50 years old, you have to save a lot of money. You have to save more to maintain your same standard of living. You have to save more than what you make if you just wait until your 50s. And that's going to cause a lot of stress. And that can cause a lot of relationship issues, health issues. And I don't want that for anybody. So that's my why, is because I see like, oh, if we don't do this now, we're going to face some serious consequences down the road. Procrastination is expensive. And people have these other whys, and they just have to realize like, hey, doing this is much important than doing this other thing it seems important now, but it's not important down the road. So we have to give people whys for why we're doing something. The second step to help you accomplish your goals is you got to figure out the how. So when I think about my goals and what I accomplish, I don't ask myself what I can do. I ask myself, how can I do it and who can do it? Like, who has already done it? So like the first thing I do is I go on YouTube University, I go check out a book, and I try to figure out or listen to a podcast and okay, how is this person doing this? How is he so successful? What is the thing that he is doing? And then I just follow up and I just model what I'm doing after him. And so like when it came to here, starting my own business, I'm like, okay, I was listening to all these podcasts by Malcolm Kutzis called the Financial Advisor Success Podcast. And I think I listened to like 100 episodes. I listened to all of them. I think he's on episode like 300 now or two something, like it's a lot. And I'm listening to how all these different financial advisors left their old firm and created their own business. I'm like, if that person can do it, I can do it as well, because they're giving me the blueprint to do so. And I joined the XY Financial Planning Network, which helps out fee-for-service financial advisors get started. They help me with the registration for getting with the state. But I'm just like, okay, that's the how. And then I like the XY Financial Planning Network because they give me all these like videos and stuff to help me with do financial planning and operation management and everything. So they're telling me the how. Like, this is how you become your own fee-for-service financial advisor. And whatever goal you're trying to do, say you want to become a better basketball player. Well, you got to understand what's your skill set. Do you want to be a better dribbler, do passer and everything? And then you just like, okay, this is how you become. These are the people that are going to teach me how to be a better basketball player. I get basketball because I love basketball. Anything in life, if you want to have a better relationship, see who has a good relationship and see how are they have great relationships or great networking skills and everything. You don't want to you still want to be yourself, but just be yourself with more skills. You don't want to be a phony and everything, but just be yourself, but with more skills. The third thing we got to do is we got to figure out the what. The what is the plan. What specific actions do we have to do to help us reach our goal? And the worst thing you could do when you're pursuing your goals and what you want to accomplish is you start with what? Like, hey, I need business cards. I need to organize my desk. I need to do this little thing. I need to do that little thing. That is not, you don't start with what. Like the people who failed with like the iPod is like, hey, we got the what. Like, hey, here's what this does. It plays songs. It plays songs. It's portable. It's battery charged. Like, that tells you what it does, but it doesn't tell you why you need it. That's why things like the Zoom didn't work out, because there was not a good story with it or not good branding and everything. Apple does a great job with branding. It just tells you why you need it and everything. I feel like it's changed since Steve Jobs has died, but definitely they're with their new iPhone, with their new cameras on the back, the 3 little cameras on the back, it's very unique, and it makes it stands out. Same thing with Tesla and their truck. It looks like something from Halo, those vehicles, and it does not look like a regular truck. They're like, hey, this is different. It's an electricity battery. It's going to make you stand out. It's not going to make you look like the rest. So you got to give people, so don't start with what you're doing, like understand why you're doing it, and then work your way back in. It's like, hey, okay, now that I have my why and I have my how, now I figure out, okay, this is what specifically I need to do. And life has lots of distractions in it. Every day we face like over 3,000 distractions a day, just with how life interacts, just from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed. And it's real easy to be distracted and figure out what should I be doing right now. And yeah, so that's how I accomplish my goals. I'm just like, hey, why do I want to do this? Okay, how can I do? Okay, what can I do right now to make it happen? And that's how I made it here to Medellin, Colombia, as a digital nomad. I was like, hey, I need to start my own business. I need to get clients, and then once I make $1,500 a month, then I can move to Medellin, Colombia, and start learning Spanish. And it only takes $1,000 to live here, because every dollar I make in the States is like making $4 here, because you can get dinner. I just got lunch for about $2.75. It is good, but that but it took me to do something for a year in Oregon by moving with my parents and everything to get to that point. And it was my why that kept me going, and I just kept doing figured out my how and then what. And the key thing is you're gonna have to adjust this. So really good thing to do is to do a SMART goal. A SMART goal is something that's specific, measurable, obtainable, relevant, and time bound. And be like, hey, I'm going to do this thing. This is my what and my how combined. And then I'm going to give myself 2 months of doing this, or a month, or a week. And then if it doesn't work out, then I need to change something up. If it does work out, then I need to if it does work out, then great, keep doing it, or figure out. There's always room for improvement. Yeah, the biggest room on this planet is the room for improvement, and there's always you can always get a little bit better, and this is good because it's going to help you keep up with the times and everything. Biggest thing is you don't want to be complacent. And when I was in the Marines, we were told complacency kills, and maybe that's just stuck in my head. That like, hey, I need to keep doing something, like still enjoy time and everything. Like I still go for my walks. I still listen to my podcasts. I watch NBA basketball to enjoy my life. But there's always room for improvement and everything. So you want to take time to follow up, review, and just see like how can we make things a little bit better. And that's what I do in my business. That's what I do just in life in general when I journal and everything. But that's just how I accomplish so many goals. This is how I got to work in the White House. This is how I got my job in the Pentagon. I was just like, why, how, and what, and just went after it. It's the reason how I like overcame my ACL injury. I tore my ACL in high school. I wanted to go in the Marines, but my why was like, hey, I want to go in the Marines so I can learn leadership skills and also pay for my education. So then the how was like, okay, I'm going to do my physical therapy exercises, do my stretches. And the what was like, hey, I just go to the gym every single day for the next 8 months and just do these exercises. So sometimes it's very complex, the how and the what. Or sometimes it's very simple, but simple does not always mean easy. Simple usually requires consistency and dedication. But the why should be very simple. It should be like, why do I really want this? And you should ask yourself, like, why do I really want this? Ask yourself 5 whys on why do I want to go after this goal. Because one of the worst things that we could do is just waste our time. The first why would be like, hey, I want to make a lot of money. But then why do you want to make a lot of money? And then, I want to make a lot of money to protect my family. And then why is that important? And then from there and everything. So the key thing is start with why, understand, and then figure out. Don't ask yourself how I can do this. Ask who can already do it, and then model your actions after them, and then get to work. A plan is nothing without action. So take your action and start pursuing your goals, and then it can help you level up your life and and then you start living your best life. So those are my 3 tips to help you accomplish your goals. This is what I use on a daily basis. That's why I reflect in my journal and everything. So make sure you do it yourself. Have any other questions about personal development or time management or personal finances, financial planning, just let me know. And as always, if you go with Joe, you can grow with Joe, because Joe knows Joe. All right, take care.